so the statement of my forefathers built altars and I built a marker is something that stood out to me as I read through the story of Jacob. Because when you think about this, when you're looking at the Old Testament time frame, you're looking at the messages, and you're looking at all the different stories that God has for us, you cannot let it go by without your tongue saying, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. It's just going to roll off your tongue regardless. The forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. It's going to come out every single time regardless of what story you're really talking about throughout the Old Testament. And you can expect that because, why? The Messiah is going to be born from that lineage. So it's something that is on our hearts, on our minds, all the time to be thinking through. It's always going to be spoken. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, every single time. But what I want to focus on today is these three names on how they responded to God when he met them and spoke to them. Because they are different in a way, by the way, the statement I put up there for you guys to be thinking through. It's always that third generation. Something a little different. Do it their own way. Right? As he processed. When we think about Abraham, what did Abraham do when the Lord spoke to him? What did he do? As we talked about just a few weeks ago, right? He built an altar and called on the name of the Lord. So let's remind ourselves what that verse looked like. 12:7, Genesis 12:7 said this. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your offspring I will give this land. So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. From there he moved on to the hill country east of Bethel and pitched a tent with Bethel on the west side and Ai on the east. He built an altar to the Lord there, and he called on the name of the Lord. What a great example for us as we learned that week during our sermon time. And then you look at his son Isaac, right? When the Lord spoke to him, what did he do? Well, he built an altar, right? Very simple. He followed his father's example. His father's example of building an altar to the Lord and calling on the name of the Lord. And you look at Genesis 26:24-25 to see that. The Lord appeared to him that night and said, I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your offspring because of my servant Abraham. So he built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord and pitched his tent there. Isaac's servants also dug a well. So what was Isaac's response? Build an altar, pitch a tent, dig a well. It's a great response. Exactly the example that his father set for him. And what it means to have the Lord speak to you and he call out. Now what did Jacob do?